show may be pre-recorded.
From the streets of Melrose Park to the trading floor of the Merc, he's fought for every dollar he's ever earned. And now, with personal liberty and our system of capitalism under assault in America, he's here to seize back our rights from the government. With a cigar in one hand and a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the other, he's Shaun Thompson. And this is the Shaun Thompson Show.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag.
Always be closing. It's the problem with a lot of our issues here in America, but this one is kind of big. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. It is impossible to have any agreement of which the other party does not have the capacity to understand character, to understand integrity, to understand the terms of the deal. In fact, many American have deemed contracts to be null and void because they were simply too stupid, had some sort of malfunction, or their mommy and daddy didn't love them enough in the morning to get out of a contract. And if you can't look back at the nation of the Islamo-Nazi called Iran, which ironically translates to land of the Aryan, if you can't look back at this 47 years of thievery, of mayhem, of financing terrorists, and now you're going to pretend you got to deal with them. Well, I think that's more than Pollyanna. I think that's absolute a waste of everybody's time involved. They don't give a rip about any paper you sign. They're looking to conquer you always and forever. It's simply the way it goes. Now, what I like is his willingness to understand, I'm going to have to kick their ass again.
Bomb Iran if they don't comply, but there's nothing enforceable in the deal itself. Is that correct?
Doesn't have to be. I let him know. I said, look, if you don't adhere to the agreement, I don't want to do that, but we're going to bomb the hell out of you.
Now, I understand, too, the problem that he faces. 47 years of poppycock from professional scumbag liars and frauds who can flip on a dime what they said 6 minutes ago, let alone last year, who can flip on a dime and twist the intention of even the sales pitch, like I'm going to lower your premiums by $2,500 a year.
Former President Obama says
it is doubtful that any agreement that arises is going to be significantly different or a significant improvement from.
And the reason is, Barack, they didn't give a rip what you signed either. And when I say they, let me be very, very clear. The Islamic Nazi nation of the land of the Aryan called Iran. They are not here to coexist. They are here to conquer. The only peace you can have is a Carthaginian peace. And that alone is the answer. And as far as their willingness to lie, where is Ayatollah Assad? I mean, not the other Ayatollah, the Ayatollah's son, after the seventh Ayatollah. Where is he? Everybody said you cut a deal with him. He's dead. That's what I say. Now prove me wrong.
Can we get rid of this Ayatollah T-shirt? Khomeini died years ago.
But Marge, it works on any Ayatollah. Ayatollah Nakhbada, Ayatollah Zahedi. Even as we speak, Ayatollah Razmara and his cadre of fanatics are consolidating their power.
I don't care who's consolidating their power.
Where is he? And you can't help but notice all of the American media, all of the frauds of the Department of Agitation and Propaganda, always undermining the agenda of America, which is why Trump is exactly the right guy to have in the right place. And the reason is he doesn't care what communists, Marxists, socialists, and the American traitor calling himself a Democrat thinks about anything.
President, can you press the MOU that's been reported? It includes,
have I read it?
Well, it's been reported that it includes a $300 billion reconstruction fund funded by Gulf allies. That's false?
It's false. People, you can invest if you want. I mean, what am I going to do? Say nobody's ever allowed to invest? No, we're not investing. We're not putting up 10 cents. And people can decide to do that, but that's up to them. I mean, do you want me to say nobody's ever allowed to invest in a country? I'll say it with Egypt. Nobody's allowed to invest in Egypt. Am I supposed to say that?
I'm asking whether...
We are not investing in it, and we do not have a fund.
Are you asking Gulf countries?
No, I'm not. I'm not. If they do it, fine. But I would say they won't be doing it for a while until they find out the behavior It's a behavior thing, but we are not investing. That's a false story.
I got news for you. The more I listen to it, the more I see it means nothing. Any more than the Barack Hussein Obama agreement meant anything. It didn't mean anything. For 47 years, it's been the art of the double cross, not the art of the deal. No one without character, without the capacity to understand terms of character, can ever enter into an agreement. It's not me saying it. It's American contract law. That's that simple. There are clauses. You have to have the capacity of understanding to enter into a contract, which is why when you're drunk, high, or on crack, most Democrats can get out of anything, including a car lease. But the Department of Agitation and Propaganda is always going to work against the agenda of success. After all, they put up office whores and dementia patients.
First off, if you were president, does that war even happen?
So are we going to have this conversation? I'm happy to.
Sure.
First of all, this is a war the American people did not want. This is a war of choice. This is a president who has proven himself to be entirely self-indulgent. And we will see what happens in the coming hours and days in terms of the negotiation, and really it's a concept of an agreement and where it ends up. But
concept of an agreement. If only we had the concept of an agreement with the Inflation Reduction Act or the American Rescue Plan, we might have been able to save $4 trillion.
You know what also excites me, among the many things, I'm excited about electric school buses. I love electric school buses. I just love them for so many reasons. Maybe because I went to school on a school bus. Hey, raise your hand if you went to school on a school bus, right?
Brilliant! No matter what the deal is, it's better than the office whore who is useless with her top on, or
and Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce it, Shanga Kawawa.
So no matter what it is, it's better than those two fracking morons or any other Democrat that pretended to have a deal and never had one, like Barack Obama.
The deal that we had in the first place.
But Vice President J.D. Vance pushing back.
If you go back to the Obama JCPOA, what it did is it took an Iranian nuclear program that it accelerated, and it basically bribed the Iranians to stop that program. We're in a totally different position here.
It bribed them,
top Israeli
and with
officials
that money,
are blasting the deal. Prime Minister.
With that money of bribery, the Islamo-Nazi funded other terrorist organizations, all dressed in those ridiculous costumes, to kill Americans, to kill Israelis, to kill people who didn't believe in their hobgoblin, yabba dabba do, their nonsense from their made-up cult, which disqualifies any Islamo-Nazi, in my opinion, from ever entering into a contract. They don't have the capacity of understanding. They're not here to get along. They're here to conquer.
Can you explain, though, what the difference is between giving Iran U.S. dollars and unfreezing U.S. dollars for
Well, the unfreezing is an easy one to answer. We have taken a lot of their money, and we have their money. We have taken their money. It's not our money. It's their money, and we froze it. At a certain point in time, I guess we're going to have to give it back. You know, if we didn't give it back, nobody would ever invest in the dollar again. If you took their money, because I thought about it, you know, I'm not the most perfect person.
I like this. It's a confession of piracy, but he talked himself out of it.
I said to Scott, why do we keep their money? What the hell are we giving it back to them? But, you know, people
that would make you a thief.
Lots of nations, some nations we don't agree with, they have their money. The dollar's become very strong under me. And they don't want to have a little conflict with somebody and end up having the United States just take their money. So if you do that, you really don't have a system.
But we have a memorandum of understanding. How do you think that works with this guy?
Islam will enter every house. No house will be left untouched. This is the promise of Allah.
Right here with your promise of yabba dabba do. The more important thing is, are you willing to kick their ass again?
Is the text of the agreement now final, or are you still...
No, it's not final. It's a memorandum of understanding. And if I don't like it, we'll go back to shooting at them, dropping bombs on their head.
Excellent! And until they produce Ayatollah asshat number 75, I say that's always on the table because they don't give a rip what agreement you have. They were willing to sign anything with everybody. And they knew full well how unqualified, how incompetent, and how corrupt Barack Hussein Obama was.
Of it, like, oh my, look at this money he's giving us. He tried to bribe his way out. I didn't do that. Nobody mentions that. 1.7 billion and hundreds of millions of dollars. They tried to bribe their way out of it. And you know what the Iranians did? They laughed at Obama and they said he's a stupid son of a... Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Speaking of a memorandum of understanding, what exactly was our memorandum of understanding? What exactly are the terms of the $300 billion we already gave to the most corrupt country outside of Chirac? What about that rat pig Zelensky?
Thank you for the invitation. Come on. How's everything? Good. Yeah? When did you arrive? At night. Not too much to sleep. But
you know, for a guy whose country's at war, he travels a lot, doesn't he? He's all over the place. It's amazing. The amount of money, the artwork, the housing he's been able to purchase and enjoy while Ukraine is at war, because that's a game where we finance the Azov Nazis, and they've been stealing our money, and the media sold you that hook, line, and sinker, because they're not really the media. They're like the East German, the North Korean, the Soviet Union, the Department of Propaganda and Agitation.
Did you know that one of North Korea's most powerful tools isn't a weapon, but a government office? It's called the Propaganda and Agitation Department, or PAD. This department is behind most of what North Koreans see and hear every day. TV, radio, films, even what kids learn in school. Around 60% of all broadcasts are dedicated to promoting Juche, North Korea's core ideology.
Now, wait a minute. 60% Juche? And you're following around that Pritzker in that costume from Hillary Clinton's closet? Only 60%. I've been here for 3 miserable fracking days. And I have seen 90% of it on We Got Nothing News, the Nazi broadcast channel, ABC, CBS, and all the rest of it. We're getting 90. The North Koreans only get 60.
Teaches that the country must be ruled by a single leader and be completely self-sufficient. But it doesn't stop there. PAD makes sure Juche is everywhere, in art, in movies, and especially in classrooms. From kindergarten, kids are taught to worship the Kim family and to hate South Korea and the United States. Just look at this real second-grade math problem. People's Army soldiers killed 374 American bastards and arrested 133 fewer than they killed. How many were arrested? This is how deep the indoctrination goes. To keep control, PAD filters out everything that challenges the regime's message. All of this is detailed in Robert Collins' report.
Now
Propaganda and Agitation Department.
Is exactly what you are to call the news from now on and in perpetuity, because as we sit here tomorrow in our once great city, now a fracking ghetto, now a third world hellhole of corruption and mayhem. There is no such thing as a good side. It isn't me saying it. It's the price of the office buildings in the loop that proves my point beyond the shadow of a doubt. And what party traces right back to it? Short in the pants mafia and the daily crime syndicate. And who's being propagandized right now on media? The 9-finger Yakuza, Rahm Emanuel, and the side saddle sissy Barack Obama, who single-handedly not only backdoor nationalized the entire healthcare system. He nationalized your life with his other swindles, added $9 trillion to the debt, and spent $1.8 billion on a butt plug for Godzilla. He pretends is his library, and he's being touted by the Department of Agitation and Propaganda as what? The most important gift to America?
Tomorrow is the grand opening of the Obama Presidential Center here in Chicago. Not just a tribute to the nation's first black president, but the country he represents.
Whoa. That aggravates the dung out of me. Barack Obama, America's first black president. His wife is as white as Ed Burke's ass, whiter than me. His father was from Africa. Think his father ever watched a Shaft movie? Knew what a curb feeler was? How about crushed velour or pimp oil? Of course not. He grew up eating dog.
With Lolo, I had learned how to eat small green chili peppers raw with dinner, plenty of rice. And away from the dinner table, I was introduced to dog meat, tough, snake meat, tougher, and roasted grasshopper, crunchy.
Can somebody give me a roasted grasshopper from the south side? How about a pit bull with some barbecue sauce on him? Black my ass. He's a communist from Indonesia. 312-642-5600.
You won't see me stop eating no ribs either. Gotta have them ribs. And too. Don't Malcolm talk about no. Now you know that ain't gonna work.
Marxists, socialists, and communists are not welcome on the Shaun Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
Your local State Farm agent Anthony DeGrotto combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. You can combine your home, auto, and life insurance to not only save you money, but give you the peace of mind you've been looking for. Anthony DeGrotto is your go-to agent in Chicagoland.